Hi, my name is Priska. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be talking about how to show yourself love and practice self-care. So practicing self-love and self-care really has to start from the inside and then out. But sometimes we tend to assume that when we are doing the external work, then we are doing the inside work, but that's not really the case. And I learned that materialistic things can never just add up to your well-being. They don't um, feed you. They don't feed your soul and your heart. I used to think that if I rewarded myself with the materialistic things, that would make me much happier. That would make me feel like I'm more balanced and centered if I had the relationships that I wanted in my life. But I learned over time that I didn't know how to care for myself from the inside and out. That's why I would always try to use materialistic things to just fill up any void that I had in my life. So over time, I have learned how to practice self-love and self-care. And I just really wanted to share these tips that I have with you and how you can practice self-love and self-care. So one of the things that I believe practicing self-love is forgiving yourself when you are holding anger, disappointment, and just holding things that make you feel and holding things against you that don't make you feel good. You are only human and you make mistakes, and sometimes we regret the things that we do and we are ashamed of the things that we have done, and we kind of wish we could take it back in time. And sometimes we are actually in denial that we made mistakes. And I remember there are moments when I made many mistakes and sometimes even made the same mistakes over and over, that I would just be so mad at me. But I learned over time that I was holding so many grudges against myself. And so I had to learn how to forgive myself and be willing to open my heart even towards me and not holding feelings of resentment towards myself. So part of showing yourself love is just being graceful to you. Be graceful to you because you are only human, and life is all about learning from our mistakes. And another thing that I do to practice self-love every day in my life is being compassionate and being extremely kind. And sometimes you can be so compassionate towards other people, but we would never extend the same compassion towards ourselves. We would never extend the same kind of kindness that we show to people towards ourselves. Sometimes we can actually be mean to ourselves. There are moments that sometimes I'll say certain things to myself and I'll be like, what? That is so awful. That is so mean. How would I define or describe myself like that? You know, that just moments where you think, oh my gosh, I'm such a loser. And then I would just realize, no, that's not exactly how I need to speak to myself, but be kind and compassionate towards yourself. So, how can you be kind and compassionate to yourself? I know that we live in a very competitive world, and sometimes we are always trying to achieve and do so many things at the same time. And when we feel like we're just below the bar or fallen or below the standards that we think we set or the goals that we thought we're going to achieve, we become so hard on ourselves. But one way I have learned how to be so kind to me is, you know what, I acknowledge the small things, the small accomplishments that I make in life every day. And I make sure that I celebrate myself. I make sure that I am not beating myself up, but actually being for me, rooting for me, and being my own cheerleader. And it is important that you are your own cheerleader. Make sure that you acknowledge your wins, no matter how small or big they might be. Don't wait to always get to the next goal, to get to the next big win, and think, okay, when I get to that big win, that's when I'm going to celebrate me. Celebrate yourself, even for every little thing that you did that made a difference in your life. And that is so important because you're acknowledging who you are, you're acknowledging and honoring yourself. You are recognizing who you are, and instead of like looking down on yourself and being and acting like the pity party and just feeling like you're just not that good and that awesome enough, or you need to do more. Be kind, compassionate, celebrate yourself, celebrate even the small wins. So, part of also self care from the inside and out, because what is important is that your well-being is important to you, and the materialistic things that you might do or the things that we do externally may not be the needs that we want to fulfill, may not be our internal needs. So I mean, you can have a great body, have good hair, get dressed well, but maybe you just don't really feel so good inside. Make sure that you take care of yourself inside out. Your well being is so important. Rest when you're extremely tired. Make sure that you take breaks when you need to. This is good for your mental health as well. Make sure that you take time to rest and time to eat. And because that is part of your health, and that's also doing with the internal work that is going on inside. Your body has specific needs as well. So make sure that you rest, make sure that you eat healthy as well, and make sure that you always like check in with yourself, like never neglect yourself. When you feel off and you do not feel balanced, check in with yourself. Don't like neglect yourself, ignore how you feel, ignore the signs that are telling you that you're not in a good place. Make sure that you are able to just spend quality time with yourself. Find out what's going on inside of you. And when you are also like spending quality time with yourself, apart from just trying to figure out what is going inside of you, make sure you're doing something that just nourishes you, makes you feel good, something that calms your nerves down. Like it could be taking a walk in the park or just being in nature and just watching like nature. I love that. And if you're not like an outdoor kind of a person, you could like take a bath, like soak in a warm bath, like listen to good music, like something that just like calms your nerves down and just brings you to a place where you can be so balanced and just enjoy you being you and enjoying quality time with yourself. And you also need quality time to yourself because you become so busy doing life. You become so busy being a mom. You are so busy at work. And sometimes we give parts of ourselves to everybody, like we are there for people, but we're not there for ourselves. So it's really important that you are there for you. And when you feel tired, take that time. And when you need that quality time, make sure it's something that you enjoy, nourishes your soul, makes you feel good, that it just puts you back to being well balanced, centered, and having that clarity and focus. And another self care tip that I would also like to share is make sure that you understand the stress relieving activities in your life. Like, always make sure that you do something that helps you, like, relieve your stress. And it's different for everybody. Some people like to take hikes, walks. Some people love to just like sweat off that frustration that they have, like they could go boxing. And I don't know what I don't know what it is like for you, but for me, I prefer journaling. Like when I'm in a quiet place and able to like write down exactly how I feel. Every time I journal, I feel so good because every thought that I had, my anger, frustrations, the things that I found rather confusing, and feelings that make me feel conflicted, and just definitely things that I'm so unaware of start to come up. So when I'm able to like journal, I'm able to understand then where my feelings are coming from and the things I'm frustrated about. and the kind of things that make me feel resentful, or the kind of things that make me feel so upset, and I'm able to like resolve them in that process of journaling as well. So find like a stress relieving activity that makes you feel like when you are just really not in the best place, and it's something that makes you feel like frustrated, something that has made you upset. Like you can pick a stress relieving activity to just find a way of just like releasing the tension. So it is so important that you do something that helps you relieve your stress rather than you just holding it in, because if you don't find something that will help you like relieve that tension, it could just come off in ways that you least expect, and also in ways that you cannot control. So I hope these tips that I shared with you are things that you can practice in your daily life, and it's something that you can pick one or two things that I shared with you, and let me know what the results were. Did you enjoy doing what you did, and was it beneficial in some way? Make sure like you share in the comment section as well. And if you would like, you can DM me in my Instagram on my handle at priscampello, and I'll link the details in the description below. So thank you so much for sticking in with me. If you got to the best part of this video, which is like right now, thank you so much for sticking in. I love you so much, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Make sure that you hit that notification bell so every time I upload a new video, you do not get to miss out on anything from moi. So stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next video, and bye.